All right, let's talk about East Campus Village, Building 1516, and Read and Paint. So, just to reiterate from the general presentation, our general flow for um, these move-in days, students have signed up for an arrival time. They should plan to arrive to their unloading zone at that time. I'll go over the unloading zones here in a second. Volunteers, the student volunteers will check them in and complete their parking pass and let them know that they can unload. They have an hour, and then they have to move to long-term parking. Um, at that point, the individuals can move to long-term parking and then they can go back and set things up. So your role as a kind of parking staff volunteer is just to um, kind of oversee things that are happening. Make sure the students know, where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be doing. They have questions, things may get busy. You might need to jump in and do a few things yourself, just, could happen. But really, it's just kind of overseeing and making sure things are running smoothly. And there's, no issues that are happening. It's especially important for the first shift because you really kind of get them started for the day. If we get them off on the right foot, then as new volunteers come on, they'll see what's happening and kind of pick up and go from there. Um, so I'm starting here on our housing homepage just to show you how you can access these maps. So if you go to our housing homepage and you can do incoming students and go down here to move in. This is our move in page. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and read through all of this. There's some good information in here. But the thing I want to focus on right now is the during move in. So you will see all of these buildings, and each of these has maps. So for ECV, that's going to be Rooker, Vandiver, Busby, McWhorter. Each map is slightly different as far as like noting the buildings and such, but as far as the parking information, they're all pretty much the same. So I'm going to go over the Rooker map. So you'll see parking, check-in, trash and recycling. Going to open that up to full screen. So this is the map for Rooker. So you can see first off that you got kind of a key here on the left. So our short-term parking, our unloading zones is in red. So for all four of these buildings, Busby, Rooker, Vandiver, McWhorter, this is their unloading zone, this large EO6 parking lot. You can also see their path to check in. All check-ins for these four buildings occur at Rooker Hall. So when they get here, the volunteer will get their pass, write their time out on there. So for instance, if it's 11:02, the volunteer will write on their pass 12:02. And then we'll know that at 12:02 they're supposed to be out. Then those passes go in the dash of the vehicle so the volunteers can see them from the outside. So this is again for all four buildings in ECV, the unloading zone. So people will enter right here. There's a entrance to this lot right here. So our volunteers, our student volunteers will be stationed right here, and they'll be doing their thing there, doing the unloading passes, making sure folks know what's going on, etc. After unloading, then they can move to one of three long-term parking options. This is just the very far end of this parking lot. There's a natural break with trees here, but this is one option. They can park in the surface lot here by the East Village deck. And they can park in the East Village deck on the second floor or above. So long-term parking is on the second floor or above and the East Village deck. If you click on these, you'll also see a little bit more information about them. But These four buildings are pretty easy. They've got a big parking lot. The numbers checking in at once aren't huge. So it's generally pretty easy for the volunteers right here to get them checked in with their unloading zone pass and kind of get them on their way to checking in and moving in. All right, I'm going to go back to building 1516 and look at the map there. Open that up. So you can see building 1516 is located right here. There's actually two unloading zones for building 1516. One is the EO2 parking lot right here. For this lot, volunteers will be stationed right here. The student volunteers will be doing the passes, doing their thing there, and directing them to park here. There's also an unloading zone in the East Village deck on the first floor. So if you remember, I said long-term parking second floor or above. The first floor of the East Village deck should be for unloading only for 1516. So they'll come off of River Road and turn in here, and then the volunteers will be right here at the entrance to the deck. They'll be doing their thing, doing the unloading zone passes. We'll have signs there that say unloading, first floor, long-term second floor or above only. But it's really important that we remind those volunteers to let people know. And especially you'll get people coming in who aren't moving in. Maybe they might be here for summer or even if they've already moved in. It's just to stop them. And if they don't need to unload, go ahead and remind them to park on the second floor or above. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for building 1516. They can park in these other lots for long term until Sunday at 6, but again, they'll probably just want to park in the East Village deck. Um, but yeah, that's really it. Can't think of any major issues to look out for here. This the ECV lot that we talked about before really goes pretty smoothly. This lot can get jammed up, so it's important to have someone monitoring spaces. And if there are no spaces, we need to block it off and send people to the East Village deck. Um, but um, yeah, I think that's all I'll say about that. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I'll be happy to help you out. All right.